We showed X design, which is for your basic parametric modeling, but there are other X apps that are, I didn't show the button or Alex didn't show the button. If you pick on it, it switches to X sheet metal or X mold or X frame, which is your weldments. So when we compare it to desktop, there are other, I just call them modules. They're kind of, what I like about them is like, let's say you go to X sheet metal. It doesn't have all the features of SOLIDWORKS plus sheet metal. It has all the features of sheet metal with the few things out of SOLIDWORKS that you need to do sheet metal. So it where we're used to desktop having everything, when you're in X sheet metal, you only have the things you need plus the base parametric options. So, but all of it's being worked on simultaneously. Again, same story is that it's very, very powerful, but it's not one-to-one to desktop at this point. Okay.
Perfect.
All right. So on to our next segment, and this one we're going to do live. So we're calling this playing well with others. What we'd like to do live for you today is actually make some changes to a model. Alex has the model, and I have the model. It's stored on the cloud, and we're going to just walk through some basics of changes and some things that you would typically see in a day-to-day. Now, I want to preface this by saying it doesn't matter where Alex and I are. It doesn't matter if we're both part of CAD Dimensions or I'm CAD Dimensions, he's a vendor, he's a customer. It doesn't matter. As long as we're both invited to the same cloud, we can collaborate together and I can restrict the data that he is able to work on. So we're working on, I just grabbed a sample assembly here. And inside of SOLIDWORKS, what you'll see is a tab off in your task pane, which is used to compare the file you have open to the latest version that's in the cloud. Now, I'm going to be working on a few different things here with Alex. Now, I'm going to own the upper level assembly, so I'm going to do what we call a lock. I'm going to let Alex know that I am working on this particular file, and I'll lock it, and the key goes green to let me know that it's locked by me. And I can lock anything else I want at this point. I mean, there's other parts in here that are important. Let's take the nozzle body, and we'll go ahead and lock that. Now, I want to also let Alex know that it's okay to work on this inlet body and make some changes here. So I'm just going to go over here in the add-in, and I'm going to give myself a little bit of real estate to do this. But I'm going to let Alex know by adding him, which is a term in a lot of online tools. Alex, please add. Let's add some threads so we can 3D print. Okay, so I'm basically sending him a message via the system by adding, adding a message to the part that I want him to do this on. Now, while he's working on that, which you'll see here in just a moment, the rev here for each of the parts is we're both working on rev dash, right? So rev dash is in work. We're both kind of collaborating together to get this thing done. And now that Alex is showing his screen, you can see that on his side it says, hey, there's two files locked. And if he mouse over those, Alex, if you don't mind, they say that they're locked by me. So we're able to collaborate on this. So Alex, go ahead and make some changes, and then I'll.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out here the comment that came through. It's so quick at sending the message that I wasn't able to steal the screen away from Kevin fast enough for you guys to see the message that popped up. Popped up right here on my screen and said, Kevin sent you a message based on this part. So just so you can see, it does notify you. So we're going to take a look at this guy, and specifically this part. So I'm going to open that one on its own here. And I'm going to lock it. And locking it prevents Kevin from making any changes to it while I'm working on it, just the same way he's locked the assembly for me. So we're going to go in and look at these threads, which are just cosmetic threads, and we want to put some real threads on there. So I'm going to delete that feature. And then we're going to go and grab the thread tool. And I'm going to start with that edge. I'll get to that in a second. And condition up to selection. And I think these were 1 3/16. Am I correct on that? Am I blind or am I just not seeing it?
I can't see the little screen, so you'll have
That's
to.
fine. All right, we're going to do this one. We're not making real threads right now, so I'm not super concerned about it. And the other thing I'm going to do too is I'm going to offset them so that they actually cut the threads the other way. Oh, no, I'm not going to offset that. I'm going to offset this side. Come on. All right. And we are cutting threads. All right. Perfect. We have some threads cut in there. Those are nice and large, so they should print well in the 3D printer. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. Well, but I'm not going to save it there. I'm going to come over here and save on the cloud platform, because then that will update Kevin's side. So I'm going to...
Now, Alex, I'm going to switch over while you send me a message on this one so they can see that. So I'm going to share back this way. And you can see a little more real time. He's going to reply to my message, and I should see a pop-up on my side when it occurs. So you can see already that I can see that the inlet body is locked by Alex. When I get a message, let me know when that's sent, Alex.
Sure thing.
This is real time.
Yeah. Well, I haven't sent it yet. It's doing the same thing that it did before.
Yeah, just toss anything in there.
You should get a message from me.
So here's the message in the corner. It goes really fast. Alex Reddy mentioned you in a comment on 306591. And again, same way he saw the message, I can go in and check the comments on the part and take a look. So some really neat tools for that. Now that's a trigger for me to refresh. So when I refresh my screen, you'll notice that the icon inside of SOLIDWORKS says that there is a more recent version that exists. Now, remember, we're both working on Rev Dash. So it's keeping track that did somebody change Rev Dash, and do I have to grab it? In this case, I would like to grab the Rev Dash so I can come in here and use what we call reload from server. Go out to the server, grab the latest Rev Dash and grab it for me. It's going to bring it down. It's going to bring it local to my machine. And you can see there's the threads that Alex cut in on my machine. You saw how quickly that works and how that was able to occur. Now, Alex is going to work on creating a revision while we're talking here for a moment. And while he's doing that, I'm also going to create a drawing, and we'll coordinate all of this together because I want him to detail out the model. So let's go ahead and create a new drawing here, and I'll just create a couple views for him to get started. So let's use a B size, and I'll drop a couple views on here. And I want you. And we'll use the front, top, right. And we'll put an isometric in here as well. All right. Alex, let me know when you have that revision taken care of there. So you can see, just to illustrate the difference between working on the same version or creating a new revision of a file. Let's say it's a standard inlet body that we used, and sometime between the time I opened this up and the time he was working, somebody created a new revision for whatever reason. When that occurs, notice you can see that the version I have open, this inlet body, is released. But it says right here, this is not the last revision. So I'm going to have the ability to use this, what we call replace by revision. I can just say replace this by the latest revision. And I could go ahead and swap out, even in that part. Alex, go ahead and unlock that if you don't mind for me. And now I can actually put the drawing directly out to the cloud for Alex. Notice it's going to take that drawing, all the updates I had with all the parts, and it's going to place it all out on the cloud storage so that we can continue to share and work along the way. So nice, easy way of collaborating on this stuff. Now, once this is up there, I'm going to give it a second, and it may take a second just to kind of explain. When you save something to the cloud, what it does is it gets stored in something very similar to a drive, right? Like you know, if you're on a server, you specify the J drive for engineering data. Well, we have these drive locations on the cloud that we store to, and the one that I'm using is called Design Collaboration. We can actually give them names, and we're both working out of this same area. So now that I've saved the drawing, let's just really quickly send them a message and say, you know, can you start detailing this? Alex. Now, Alex sometimes ignores my messages or I get stacked up in his inbox. So, Alex, what other tools do you have to find those types of drawings?
Well, I know you can find the drawing here in the My Session pane, but also if we know that the drawing created, I can right-click on the assembly and click Open Drawing, and it'll open any drawings related to the parts. So just like that, I have Kevin's drawing here open, and I'm able to go in and start putting some dimensions on things, maybe changing the scale of this because it's kind of small. Let's use a custom scale. We'll just do probably 1:1 is fine.
So our hope with this is to just show you what it's like live. I mean, this is obviously we talked about what we wanted to show, but you're seeing it real time here. To add to this, Alex, you're located where?
I'm located in Lockport, New York.
And I'm down in Reedville, South Carolina. So to put it in perspective, it doesn't matter where you are. Okay, I don't need to be within the company walls. We can work together. And that is some of the value that we're seeing with this collaboration, whether it's with a vendor, customer, or internal folks with the 3DEXPERIENCE platform.